So welcome to the second video in the series of how to find content for your online courses. So the first one obviously was just to talk about how you can get help from us. That's the main thing. If you remember nothing else, please let us know if you need any help getting resources or services. Just let us know. But now I want to talk about journals. How do you get journal articles, and what do you need to do to get the journal articles in your courses? Okay. So basically the main thing we're doing is going to be going to the library website, and I'm going to be showing you around a few different resources about how to get journal content. If you have any questions, please let us know, and away we go. Okay, so here we are. So we're at the library homepage now. And again, if you remember, getting to the library homepage, just click on the library link, university webpage on the rosalindfranklin.edu site. So you can see that this is our library homepage. So what I'm going to be focusing on now is I'm going to be focusing on really two things. I'm going to be focused on the library search tab and journals and ebooks tab. So first I'm going to talk a little about library search. Library search is our database, which basically is kind of a super database. It's made up of multiple databases. So people can search the content and see what basically we have. Now what we tell students is that specifically is if you're doing like a systematic review or research, don't just use library search, because there's only so many tools we can have when we're kind of combining a lot of different databases together. So it's actually better in terms of filtering and looking at information to go to more specific databases. However, if you want to see if we have something in full text, there's no better place than in library search to look for that. So what we can do is I'll show you a few different things. So I'll first show you library search. So I'm just going to type in interprofessional teams and then click search. Okay, now as you can see, you have to log in with your HelixNet username and password. Just as a reminder, the library does not control the username passwords. That is through the IT department. So if you have any questions, let them know. And they can reset that information for you. Also, as a reminder, if you're an on-campus faculty, especially, we use Duo for our authentication method. Hopefully it will go. Oh, it did. Here we go. All right. So a lot of times if you have to sign in once, sometimes with my computer I'll sign in for 15 days, so we'll only have to sign in. So that's a tip. But so here we go. So we look at interprofessional teams. So you're going to be seeing that you will see if there's a PDF full text, all you have to do is click on the PDF full text. Okay, and then here we go. This is the full text. So now all you can do is download the item, and then if you want to use it for personal use, go ahead and download the item. We're good to go. Now, if you want to use this in your courses, what usually we recommend, so that we can get the statistics on what actually is being used in the collection as well as being more copyright compliant, is we do ask that you use a link instead of the actual PDF. So what you can do is click on the article title, and then the link you're going to want to use, and now a lot of journals, it's going to be just the link at the top. However, with anything with library search or CINAHL Complete or PsycInfo, which are all owned by EBSCO, EBSCO manages those databases, they create session links. So you usually see at the top of the link somewhere, you're going to see that there is a session number. Usually it looks really, really long, the link, so that is not it. So you can see it says session manager in this link. Okay, if you see at the top here, that means it's a session link. That means the link will expire at the end of the session, which is very hard when you're actually trying to put materials in your courses. Because basically if the student clicks on it, it will say the link is expired. It will not tell you even what you were clicking on. It's not very helpful. So what you want to do is you want to look for in EBSCO databases, so Library Search, CINAHL Complete, and PsycInfo, you're going to look for the permalink link. You see the permalink link, that is going to be the link that you're going to use. You just copy this and then just paste it into your D2L course. It's fairly simple. To show how to paste into D2L, just contact OLID or IT, and they can kind of help you with that. But basically, all you have to do is copy this link and then put it wherever you want to in your course, and that way we get the statistic. It will just ask the student to basically, since it's single sign-on, it won't even ask the student a lot of times to log in. If they're logged into D2L, they'll automatically get the resource, so it's a win-win. It basically just makes sure we get the statistics. So when we come to budget time and looking at, okay, what journals are used and not used, we can have an accurate picture of what journals are actually being used at the university. So that's what we ask the permalink. Okay. Now some journals, I'll show you in a minute, actually do have the persistent links at the top, but I'll show you that in a minute. So basically, this is just how you would get that kind of journals in library search. So pretty simple. If you see there's an HTML full text, you can do that. A lot of times you'll see the Find RFUMS link. That means we have it in some other resource. So if you click on Find RFUMS, you usually will get to one of the other resources. Basically, what the Find RFUMS link is, some of the publishers don't want their direct content in library search because they want their own clicks and their own statistics and things like that. So then a lot of times it will lead to either the journal that it's in or it will lead to the actual article. It really depends on the publisher. So just be aware of that. Now there is requested items for interlibrary loan. So here's a word about interlibrary loan. Interlibrary loan is going to be slower during this time. There's just no way around it. A lot of libraries are actually closing. They are closing to the point that they are not doing any print. They're not doing anything with their print collections. They have sent it out the last few days. We have gotten a lot of, this is recorded on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And in the last week, we've gotten a lot of libraries that said we're closed or we're only doing electronic access only, which basically means anything in their electronic collection they will lend. If it's in their print collection, they're not lending it out. So basically, it cuts down the amount of materials that we actually can request through. Some departments are actually just shutting ILL down altogether. They're not doing ILL at all. So it is going to be less volume that we'll have to lend and to borrow from other places and even to lend our stuff out. So just pack your patience. If you request something, it may not get filled. It may get filled, and we really don't know at this point. But just be prepared for longer processing times. Usually it's 1 to 2 business days right now. That is probably going to increase just because if we can't get it from somewhere else, we're kind of stuck. So just so you know, we're all in this together. But yeah, just want to give a heads up that service is probably going to be the most service is one of the most impacted during this remote campus period. Okay. So that is basically how you find articles. It's very simple search and then just find the article in library search and away you go. Now, so there are some other resources that are some databases I do want to point out. So before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you underneath Find, there's electronic resources. If you click on that link, you're going to see a full list of our databases that we do have. And we have a variety of different databases for you to use. So one of them I just want to point out real quick is we actually have the AMA Manual of Style. That's the 11th edition. The brand new edition, we actually have the online version. So if you click on it, here it goes. Yep, there's telling me the 11th edition is available. I'm just going to click on the 11th edition. And it's going to go here. And so here is our resources that we have. And so this is a resource you have. Now I'm going to feature this a little bit more in citation resources, which I'm going to do in a minute in another video, but just so know that this is here for you. Okay. So some other databases you might want to be aware of are CINAHL Complete. So CINAHL stands for the Cumulative Index of Nursing and Allied Health Literature. And that is a really good resource because sometimes there's most of the things in PubMed or biomedical, but there's some things like nutrition, things like nutrition or things like physical therapy. There's those type of things are sometimes classified as allied health, and they're not all the time in PubMed. So just be kind of aware of that. So that's a really good resource to use if you want to look at that. We also have see here, Natural Medicines is a database that is for complementary and alternative medicines. So when you click on that, just to show you what that looks like, you can actually find monographs on specific supplements. So I'm going to type in cinnamon. And then you can see, let's look at Ceylon cinnamon. Let's just look at this one. Okay, and then you can see like, some information on it, because sometimes it's hard to find information on supplements, but this is a really great resource. You can see drug interactions, you can see safety, effectiveness, dosing, administration, adverse effects. So this is a really great resource for your students. Once again, say you wanted to add this into your D2L course. So you just want to be like, okay, I want the students to look at this particular one. What we can actually do is, let's go to the top one. Okay, C1 cinnamon. We can actually just use the link at the top here, because this is a persistent link. You can see no session information. You can actually use this link and put it right in your D2L course. So you can have some information, say there's specific supplements you want the students to know about. This is something you can use. So just kind of wanted to show you that real quick. We also have things like, say, ProQuest dissertations and theses. These are only the RFMS student dissertation theses. These are not all of them all together. So also PsycInfo. PsycInfo is a database of peer-reviewed literature in behavioral science and mental health. Much like CINAHL has some things that are considered allied health, PsycInfo is a database of behavioral science and mental health that aren't always covered in PubMed either. PsycInfo is known kind of as the PubMed for behavioral and science and mental health. So that's another really good resource for you to use if you want to look at that. So those are just kind of like the really quick, like some of the databases we have. If you want to look to see if we have a specific journal, what you can do is actually go to our journals and ebooks tab, and then we can actually just type in one of the journals. So let's just type in Nature, okay, and click search. And so now all you're going to do is go to, you can see Nature comes up. You can see that we have Nature Journals Online from 1997 to present. Just click on that link. And then we can go find the journal we need. So say we wanted volume 563 from 2018. You could do that. Click on the name of the journal. And then we can just get one of the articles. Okay. And then basically you can see there's no session link at the top here. So this is great. Just take this link and put it in there. Like I said, if you have any questions about if the link is correct or not, please let us know. We are happy to help you find this. Okay. So, that is basically how you find journals and journal articles in the library. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at eResources, or you can click on Ask a Librarian. Okay. If you have any questions, let us know, but that's the end of this presentation.